Hi, everybody. We are receiving today Mr. Dean Linden, Business Development Manager of Falco Pacific Resources, symbol FPC on the venture market. As you can see the chart right now, the stock is following a new uptrend, and it has an important resistance, but that could be broken soon with the project that they have. Mr. Linden, good day.
Good day, Michelle. Good to be here.
Thank you very much for coming. And it's an old Noranda project up north in northern Quebec, and has been a lot of work done on that site before. Let's talk about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty exciting opportunity. Not only is it an old Noranda project, it is the founding asset. It's the old Horne Mine, the original Horne Mine, along with all the surrounding producers in the Horne Mine Complex, as we call it. We've got 14 former producers in the whole package, 728 square kilometers. Where we're focused and what we're very enthusiastic about, and what we think is, going to have a lot of people relook at how they believe junior resource should be run, is the Horne 5 deposit, which is just below the upper and lower H, which was the original Noranda asset that was basically the empire builder there, if you will.
Okay, and there's at the time Noranda was exploiting this, they were looking for copper more than gold, I guess.
Noranda's mandate through the entire 80-year history that they had there was to feed the smelter, and needless to say, that was a strategy that served them extremely well. From the outset, we looked at it and said, you know what, this is a gold property, and we're right in that. And then when you look along that Cadillac break, everybody that's gone deep and tried to focus specifically on gold has been successful. I mean, Kirkland Lake, Larder Lake, the guys at Agnico down the road from us. I mean, they're below 2,000 or down to 3,000 meters now and hitting some wonderful gold grade. We are looking to exploit that same opportunity, and Noranda has provided us with a remarkable head start. I mean, we are able to advance this project without drilling a hole, without spending a whole bunch of money, based on the drill results that they've provided us. The work that people did at Noranda over those 80 years was truly remarkable.
When did they stop exploiting this claim?
So the mine closed in 1976.
That's a long time ago, when the price of gold was about $300-400.
It's difficult for some of us to remember that gold was not what gold is today. Even with the current gold market notwithstanding, gold is $1,300 an ounce. When they were looking at it, it was $45, $50, $60, $100 an ounce kind of thing. The copper really carried the day for them. So now, I mean, we look at some of these assets that they had, and they exploited the copper very, very well. They left a lot of the gold behind, and at grades that we would be considered by today's standards high grade.
It was Noranda first, and then it changed for Falconbridge, and then it became Xstrata Glencore, I guess.
Yeah,
and they're not exploiting it anymore. I know you have you did the financing, like you got 5 million, and you got that 5 million when the stock was 25 cents.
Yes.
And it's pretty rare right now, but you're above the financing price, which was 25 cents, and you're now 45 cents.
Yeah. Our share price really, I think, reflects the fact that we are doing it entirely different than any other junior mining company could possibly do it. We're exploiting this Noranda data that is so complete that we're able to go in, and it's basically desktop exploration. We're able to digitize in this 43101 that we'll have coming out in the next 60 days. We'll have digitized 4,300 drill holes on 15-meter centers, not 50, 15-meter centers. So the completeness of the data, the thoroughness of the data was beyond what any of us could have imagined when we originally went into the vault and started uncovering a lot of that work that had been done. Noranda was one of Canada's most respected corporations for a long time for a reason. Their work was impeccable, and that's allowed us to, without drilling a lot of holes, without spending the money that we've come to be used to in sort of exploration. We're exploiting this for a fraction of the money that anybody else could do it. We're not going to be looking for, millions and millions of dollars to go in and drill some confirmation holes at this point in time. At some point in the future we may, but at this point, for this current 43-101 and what we're working on right now to exploit this Horne 5 asset, it's going to be done very effectively and very inexpensive.
Do you think you have enough data for targeting the right spot to get as much gold as you can at the lowest cost that you can?
Not only do we think we have enough data, I think I would argue that it would be difficult for anybody to imagine ever having seen more data presented. So yeah, we are going to have, not only are we going to have enough data to talk about specifically the Horne 5 and where the opportunities are there, but these high-grade gold zones move out to the east, to the west, to the north. We've got about another 9,000 drill holes that we're able to digitize as well to sort of take a look at what, not only what's in the 43-101, but what permeates out from that at different levels on different horizons. Again, it was all stuff that, Noranda or Falconbridge or Xstrata, at certain points in their history, they knew that that was in the vault, but the corporate memory was lost over time and over the transitions that took place. So we're really, for the first time in 80 years, a junior has sort of taken this thing and said, we're going to look at, we're going to treat this 80 years of history as though it's our own. We're going to analyze it specifically for gold, and that's never been done before, and that's opening up the doors for unimaginable opportunity for us, specifically looking at a old copper mine and sort of re-exploiting it as a gold mine, and it's going to be something.
What type of mine do you expect to have there? Open pit or shaft?
No, the work that's the Horne 5, I think that's going to be, there's already, if you can imagine, 5.5 kilometers of underground workings, 40 working levels, 4 shafts. It's all sitting there. It needs to be dewatered. So we're going to exploit what's there, and I think that it's remarkably complete. I can't imagine how many millions of dollars it would have cost to drill all those holes. It's 300,000 meters.
Holes and galleries, and they're still all there. You have, I saw a 3D model. Maybe we can show the 3D model. It's not the one at the Horne project. It's another project.
Yeah.
What's the name?
So I mean, I talked about we have 14 former producing mines. So this, the Horne 5, in addition to being an unbelievable opportunity from a mining perspective, it also is a proof of concept of everything else that can happen in the area. And I think that what we're about to see here is a open pittable opportunity in the west side of the camp. It's the old Osisko mine. It's relatively, in terms of, we have relatively very little data on it. We only have 285 diamond drill holes that we were able to digitize and take a look at, and it's an incredible open pittable opportunity. It's open on strike and depth. It's only been explored to about 250 meters. The Osisko mine was in production for only 2 or 3 years, 49 to 52. So, technologically things have advanced, economically things have advanced, and we've got the benefit
and
of
those tools, and
we've got almost 300 drill holes there to look at.
And the price of gold is way higher than it was at that time.
Yeah.
So you can take this thing that has been closed down because it was not worthwhile to be exploited anymore, but it could really be today.
Yeah, I mean that 3D model is wonderful. I don't think, the completeness of the data isn't anywhere near what we've got at Horne 5, but nonetheless, it would be light years ahead of most things that you would look at for the money. So it's pretty impressive.
As the major shareholder you have right now, you have I think you have 56 million outstanding share.
58 fully diluted. Yeah.
58 fully diluted. So it's not like 200-300 million like in some cases. And Osisko is one of your major shareholder. I think with 16%. QMX, which is having a hard time right now, is also a major shareholder. and but you have a big part of your share that are under escrow, so
Yes.
they can't be sold.
Right. 40% of our shares right now are in an escrow agreement. And it really, because we hit this thing so hard, so efficiently, we haven't had to, do big raises and dilute ourselves for pennies. Our share structure is as tight as you can imagine. I mean, it is very, very tightly held. It's the shareholders that are in it are, in many cases strategic. And the opportunity for us here is very good. We're, like I said, our first shot at this thing was the Horne 5, and we'll be delivering, inside 60 days, or maybe just right around 60 days, a 43101 compliant resource that's going to, probably underpin the value and perhaps even more importantly, give us a very clear roadmap of what is possible here.
How much cash flow do you have right now?
Our burn rate is we burn about $100,000 a month.
Okay.
We've got about $2.7 million in.
So at this burn rate, you got enough money for a couple of years, but
Yeah.
just doing some.
Well, no. Let's be clear.
Exploration.
Let's be clear. We are moving at light speed. I mean, we're not idling this thing. We're not we are I mean, as we speak, we're digitizing, I think, another 5,000 or 6,000 drill holes. So we've already digitized 4,300 drill holes that are going to go as part of this 43101. So we're not kind of pacing ourselves for a better market. At that $100,000 that we're spending we're producing and digesting a ton of data and getting it to our engineers that are then sort of building out these 3D models. And
What infrastructure are still there and could be usable? I presume the shaft is there, but then you don't have the cables and you don't have the machinery and all that.
So that's kind of one of those things where we're very quickly we're starting to answer questions about what's available there in terms of infrastructure. It's very surprising. It's the old Noranda site, so it's very. There's roads, power, water treatment facilities. There's a smelter. There's a mill. There's pretty much everything that you could. The mill has been used up until about 2 years ago, I believe, in a tolling operation. So every ounce of infrastructure there.
Okay, it's not all 40 years old rusted stuff.
No, it's not. But I mean, let's be clear. I mean, the infrastructure, the 5 kilometers of underground infrastructure is underwater. That's going to need to be dewatered, but it's not going to be dewatered for exploration purposes. When it's dewatered, it would be in relation to a production scenario, which is a very different scenario. I mean, if we were going down there trying to convince people that we needed to dewater it in order to get some drills down there to confirm some holes, that's a whole different story than saying we're dewatering it because, look at the grade, look at the tonnage, look at the
Because you have the data already, so you're not dewatering to see if there is gold.
Right.
You know if there is gold, you know where there are still some gold probably.
I hope to be back here in 60 days telling you exactly how much gold.
Is there anyone that is still alive that were working on that claim before?
That's been one of the gratifying, well, there's a number of gratifying things that it's been sort of working with this, the pride that this province has about what the work that Noranda's done. We routinely receive emails from people that, had worked there in the past and were maybe geologists or working a drill or whatever the case may be. They email us because this is their first opportunity to talk to a company where their input could actually move the needle from a gold perspective, because who would you call it? Falconbridge. Who would you phone it?
I know one of my oldest client here in Decisionplus was an old prospector in this area from Noranda, but he died 3-4 years ago. He was 80-some years old. So
well, I mean, the endorsement that we get from these guys, that, nobody's going, oh, geez, I worked there for 25 years. I never saw any gold assays, or I never drilled any gold. They're all going, wow, I mean, this is what an opportunity, what an incredible opportunity, and you can hear that they're excited about. We get sent old pictures and maps and different things that people have sort of kept over the years, that they remember the day when they hit X amount of ounces of gold, and it was just it ended up in those bankers boxes in that vault. So that's been kind of cool to be a small part of the history of this region. It's going to be something pretty special.
But just like it was like this mine was sleeping for years and years until the price of the resources went up, and it's now worth it has a value that can be exploited.
Sleeping is a great way to put it, because I think that there's those people that when they first hear about, oh, we're going to relook at the Horne complex, they'll say, well, what could possibly be left at the Horne? They worked on that for 80 years. What could possibly be left? And from a copper perspective, perhaps not much. From a gold perspective, this is just the start of it. Really, it is. I mean, it's just the beginning.
And how much money do you think approximately we need the 403, 43, 401 for that, but 101 for that, but how much money you think you'll need before you go to production in that?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Just a feeling.
Well, it really sort of, I mean, this 43101 is going to begin that process. It's going to kick it off, because it depends on where the grade is, where it's situated. I think right now we're pretty comfortable that it's pretty continuous as it goes down this high grade core that we've located that goes down. So I mean that's an engineering exercise, but I think that in addition, the 43101 is going to open up all kinds of exploration opportunities. So probably to dewater it would be sort of we're going to have to figure out what it's going to be to dewater it first and foremost. But I think that's a ways away. We can do feasibility studies. We can do we can do permitting. We can advance this thing a long way before we are talking about a production scenario. But not a lot of time, relative to other things. This sits in a mining area. There's a smelter. It's an operating site already, so it's and it's permitted for mining. Do you expect to do some more to issue shares to finance the project, or you have any other plan for that? I mean, with the business model that we've got right now, I mean, we can advance it a long way without needing to do a financing, like we said, with our burn rate relative to our cash position. But I think the fact at the end of the day, we're still in the junior mining space, and there's always when the right time comes along with the right shareholders and the right partners, that's
all of that data must have been all on papers. Oh, there was no computer at the time.
I wish rather than a 3D model, I could show you the vault and the order that everything was in.
Basically, right now you're taking this data on paper to put it on a computer.
Taking bankers' boxes, digitizing all the drill holes into a computer program, which then goes to the computer programmers that put it in a 3D model. All of this stuff can be cross-referenced now. All these drill holes that they've got can be cross-referenced with old production logs and whatnot to confirm what reconfirm. So there's all kinds of cross-checking that can take place that makes this an extremely robust thing. There's people in our group that have been at this 30, 40 years who have never seen anything like this before. They'll say, they said to me, you're never going to see this in your career again. This is remarkable. This is a one of one.
Time goes by, Mr. Linden. It was nice having you again.
You're the best. Thank you.
We look forward to have some more information from you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
You bet. Bye.
Bye.